You are watching the #1 podcast in the entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are, and this time in not a spirit, but thank you for that. Robert! Family, thank you. I want to say a special thank you to Jean-Paul Leek for handling NXT because, I had some power issues, not in delivery power, but electrical power issues. So sorry about that.
But we're back in the saddle again.
That's right, and we came here to do some cowboy shit. Why? Because it's AEW Dynamite review time. So thank you so very much for watching every single one of our videos. Like I said, once again, sorry for the situation that happened. We had a really big storm in Pennsylvania, so for that reason we lost power for a few days. Everything's handled, everything's controlled, so we're good. So Jean-Paul, what do you think about this Dynamite?
This was a pretty good show. Dynamite, they had the Cody, he has his open challenge. We got to sit down with FTR. That was good. Jericho versus Colt Cabana was a good match. They're kind of teasing something there. Maybe it was, I'd rather see that than Tyson. But overall, I think this was a really good show. Lots of good matches. Dynamite usually always, presents good matches. We saw a promo from Lance Archer as well, which I liked. We actually got to see Lance Archer speak, and he's,
we'll get to somebody up, huh?
We'll get to it when we get there in the review. But that was a good segment because it made him feel like, oh, okay, you thought he would lose and then just kind of go away for a few weeks. No, he's still here and he's pissed.
He's ready to go. Yeah, he wants revenge. So, let's start from the beginning. Of course, Dynamite, like Jean-Paul always mentions every single time, they start with something really hot, and it's time to talk about the AEW Tag Team Championship match. Of course, the champions Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page being challenged by, Jimmy Havoc and Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford. What a great match this was. A lot of really great moves. Kenny Omega, Adam Hangman Page, they're still delivering. In my understanding, I think they're the best tag team right now so far. I won't even want to say in the world because, they together, the stuff that they produce are always really good.
Yeah, and I would agree with that, but it's one of those things where they're maybe not as, fluent, or you can't sell them as a tag team together, but the two of them are on top of their game as singles competitors, and if you put two fantastic singles competitors together, it's going to be at least a half-decent tag team, and these guys, they gel well together. I like their finisher now. It's called the Last Call, where he does the buckshot into the V-trigger knee, the Last Call, so that it has a name. So to me, whenever, finishers have names, a tag team finisher, all that stuff, it's super legit. And this match, like you said, it was great. Dynamite always starts off with a great match. And going into it, I'm like, do I really care? Because at Fyter Fest, it's going to be the best friends. And Kenny Omega and Hangman aren't going to lose here because that's the money match, them versus the best friends. So you knew they weren't going to lose. But the one thing I will give to Dynamite and the guys, who produced this match is that there was a couple times in this match where you thought the team of Sabian and Havoc were actually going to win. It was like, oh, shit, are they really, you're watching it, it's like, oh, they're going to kick out, and then it's like 2, and he's about to hit 3, and you're like, oh, shit, are they going to kick out? And they do, and it's like, oh, so they have the suspense there. So, that I really appreciated, and, there was even a little bit of humor. I like the one part Penelope Ford went to get involved, and she went for the Hurricane Rana, and Hangman Page caught her, and she was like, so, and then he's looking at the ref, he's like, what do I do with her? And then he's like, should I drop her? The ref's like, yeah, just drop her. So he just drops her on the mat, and then she rolls out of the ring because he was like, do I throw her? What should I do to her? And he's like, just drop her. Oh, okay.
That's awesome, and exactly. So I agree with everything that you're saying. The money matches with the best friends, but at least if they give you a little bit of drama, they give you a sensation that that Havoc and Sabian had a chance to win. That's what makes it, because you for a second forget that they're not supposed to win. But the closer near falls, that's what made it for me. That's what really did it. And like you said, every time that at least you keep merging two guys in a tag team, you give them a finisher that has a name. They have a combination, a sequence that turns out to be their finisher move. That's what you want in a tag team. That's what they call a tag team. So for that reason, like you said, Sabian hits a double stomp, and then Havoc with a DDT to Omega, but Page makes the save. See, that was right there, and then still, the match keeps going. Sabian hits a drop kick to the back, then a Poison Rana, then tags Havoc. Omega hits the B trigger and tags Page, and then the champs hit this, the Last Call. Like you said, the buckshot lariat into the big trigger or vice versa. Cover 1, 2, 3. Good open for Dynamite. I really like this. Why? Because like the tag team champions are looking strong, and we love the best friends, so we know this is going to be. This could
and
be
also Fighter
better
Fest.
than the John Bucks.
Yeah, and Fighter Fest is going to be a 2-day event. They actually have it the one, I forget which Saturday.
July. It's July 8th, 7 and 8, I believe it is.
Yeah, well, it's the following week. It's
it is later.
Okay. Yeah. It's each Saturday, so that's going to be cool. I would have rather had it been like a Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. Feel like that week gap is going to be, but maybe it's to build suspense. If there's some kind of cliffhanger on day 1 leading into day 2, but it'll be good stuff, and I'm interested to see how it plays out.
Absolutely. So Jean Paul, we get a video from earlier. We see Tully Blanchard. Of course, the dad of Tessa Blanchard with the guy that like we love, but he always loses, and when he wins, the match doesn't even air. So Sean Spears, and he gives him like a glove, a glove that, and the glove is going to improve his career. It's a fingerless glove. So, and then JR says that like the black glove is synonymous of great careers. So, it's kind of like a new introduction, a new layer for, Sean Spears. What do you think, Jean Paul?
Yeah, I mean, earlier he was like screaming at Sean Spears, like yelling at, and it was just like, I mean, hey, I'd be yelling too. I'm Tully Blanchard. Like, my daughter beat the hell out of Brian Cage, who's supposed to be the toughest guy in this joint, and I'm stuck with a loser like you. Yeah, I'd be pissed too. And he gives him a glove. I'm like, what is this, the glove from The Undertaker? Like, because that's the only glove that's going to give Sean Spears, any kind of, push around here. So I don't know what that. I didn't get the reference to the fingerless black glove. I know they said a lot of wrestlers wear gloves, but I don't get that. Maybe I'm missing an obvious reference. I don't know if you.
I don't know what the glove means, because the only guy that I just know gloves is The Undertaker that comes to mind. So I mean,
yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know,
but The Undertaker, okay.
I mean, I hope that I hope there's a crossover, and I hope he gets like choke slammed right into the job card. I don't know, because he's in the mid card now. He can't get choke slammed into the mid card, but I feel with him, if he's not saved here, he's done. You can't keep doing gimmick changes.
Oh yeah, now they need,
especially this early on. They're not even 2 years. Yeah, they're not even 2 years into AEW, like into their show being in existence, and he's already had 3 gimmick changes. Yeah. He was the chairman, then he was whatever the hell he was now, because he wasn't using the chair anymore, and now he's going into the glove.
Now the glove, so like he wants to be like the Gable guy from like Mr. Gadget, like you could see only the hand.
Yeah.
So Jean Paul, we go to Brian Cage against Sean Dean. Very quick match, of course, like an enhancement match. They have to do this, and he pretty much finished this guy with the drill claw, and he gets the win. And then Taz says that last week Jon Moxley was snickering all of them, but he needs to take things more seriously, or Cage will destroy him, as well as he will take the belt. So Jon Moxley makes his entrance. Of course, he makes it, from all the way to his house. So we want to wait to 3 blocks to he gets in there. So Moxley says that this is fun, and there's a reason that he's smiling last week, because the idea of going to work with an athlete like Brian Cage makes him excited and happy. So he has the Goku complex, because Goku, that Goku, every time that somebody's stronger than me, I'm so happy,
Yep, he's like, yeah, because I got to kick your ass now.
Yep, and then, but to be clear, Jumbo, stepping in the ring with him for his title is no game. So Moxley says that he can be beat out, but it will take Cage all night long to do so. So Moxley says Cage is a different thing, but so is he. And Cage will release everything at Firefest, and that he's swimming with a different kind of shark. So he tells them to remember who they're talking about and when they mention his name. So a good promo,
Yeah, good promo. Tell me how you feel. Like, so a lot of people say, oh, Taz is a legit promo. To me, Taz is hit or miss. Sometimes he hits a home run. Other times he hits a foul ball and, pisses in his pants. Like sometimes, it's good promo, bad. Moxley, I feel kind of the same way. Moxley did all right, the things he was saying. Maybe it's his delivery. He has a lot of pauses in his promo, and you can tell it's he's clearly thinking of what to say next. But, I'm just excited for the match. And, Moxley's not like the best wrestler. Brian Cage is impressive for his size. But I think they'll tell a real physical story. I think it'll turn into a brawl, which is the match that it needs to be. It's not going to be no technical thing. But it's tough to say. I feel like Brian Cage might be the one to beat him, though.
Might be. It seems to me that like he could be like the guy that like will get the title. They want to do something different.
But if
And
he
like,
does win, I could definitely see that being like a transitional champion, like a champion for a month. Okay, the tag team champions also split at Fyter Fest. Hey, Kenny Omega,
oh
you know
yeah,
what I
like
mean?
yeah,
I
they
could
could be
definitely see something like that.
this could be the new avenue for a lot of guys. Maybe Moxley goes on a hiatus. We don't know. I mean, like Moxley Hayes has done 2 title defenses. This will be the 3rd one. We don't know yet. We don't know.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be surprising. It wouldn't be a shocking if this happened.
And the only reason I say that is because you build these guys up as monsters and then they lose.
Yeah, and
It's hard to be like,
yeah,
like especially like have the monster just exist on your show for a year without putting him, against the world champion.
Yes.
Instead of like, his first match, boom, he wins a title opportunity.
Exactly.
Okay.
Absolutely right, Mr. Egg. So, when you told me about Taz, I think, again, he's like you said, he's hit or miss, depending on the topic he's talking about.
Yeah.
For example, when he was like, hyping up Brian Cage, when he was talking how good he is, okay, he's good. You believe it. But then when it comes to another, for example, the things he did with Darby Allin, I didn't get it. I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, thank you, Taz. Kanda Hanjame, Taz Mission, legit, yay. So we get to see the video package from Lance Archer, like Jean Paul was saying, beating someone up on a construction site. And then he says one loss won't stop him, and he's not on AEW just to be a spawn monkey. So, we see like you said, like he's probably going to go after Cody. Maybe Fyter Fest. That could be like the place. So what do you think on that?
I mean, I wouldn't be upset with a rematch. And, if they do the rematch, then of course Lance Archer has to win. Because then Cody had his title reign. Okay, it was a month, month and a half. Wasn't the longest title reign, but at least he can be like, hey, I was the first TNT champ. Everything he did starting this company, say what you will. He deserves to be a champion. He deserved it. So, I'm not going to complain about that, but I think Lance Archer needs that to solidify himself. Like, yeah, I am still here. I'm legit. And I like the line where he's like, I'm not here to be a spot monkey. He's like, I'm here to kick people's ass. I'm not here to do flips and dives and stand there and wait to catch the guy and all that stuff. So
I'm here to beat people up. So pretty much that's what he's saying. So Jean Paul, our guys, we're not really our guys, but Private Party are drinking backstage with Matt Hardy, approaches them, and he's is Matt Hardy about the Team Extreme, not broken, not woken, not open, not any of that, just Matt Hardy Extreme. Hardy says that he's enjoyed their match last week, and they are the future of tag team wrestling. He says that like their bond reminds him of the Hardy Boys, and that's legit that he acknowledged the Hardy Boys, and he wants to help them in any way he can. That I don't understand. Why is he offering help?
It was kind of because they showed the clip where like last week when they wrestled and Quen hurt himself. I believe it was Quen. He hurt the one who has like the hair that looks like bull horns on the side of his head. Yeah. He tweaked his knee. So then Matt Hardy, they kind of like had to change up the match, and they showed him like respect. Matt Hardy helped him to the back after the match was over. So then it was kind of like, oh, these kids are, they're good kids. Let me help them out. I think that's kind of how they.
That's where this is going, and it makes sense. I mean, Matt Hardy wanting to help out. Okay, I still like for me the character is not strong enough. I don't know.
I feel like for a lot of stuff, I mean, we just came out of a pay-per-view, so they're kind of just like up in the air with some stuff. Yeah, they have storylines, Moxley, Cage. They're doing something with Lance Archer, hopefully Cody, Jericho, and Tyson. As much as we don't want to see that. But then other stuff, they're just kind of up in the air. They're just like, we don't really know what to do. And I feel like this is one of those situations.
Yes, exactly. So that's what it was. And, pretty much, like he said, like he'll help them out. Sammy Guevara comes out and he says, I have respect for you. That's, sure. Yeah, thanks, man. I need respect. So moving along, Mr. Leek, we get to see Chris Jericho after a pretty lengthy promo with like a Mike Tyson and everything that happened last Dynamite. And Chris Jericho comes out and he has a match with Colt Cabana. Pretty decent match. Colt Cabana is a pretty decent wrestler, so that's why they were able to come up with something pretty, normal, average, nothing.
Yeah. I mean, when Jericho hit the lion salt, I mean, that was legit. He didn't actually hit it, but Cabana moved, but he caught himself. So it was like, okay, Jericho still got the moves. You know what I mean? He can bust them out when he needs to.
Yeah,
like the Undertaker said, and I love that line. I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. So when he needs to do it, if he needs to do it one time, he's going to do it the best he can do it.
Thank you so much for Mark Calloway. I will say that The Undertaker is, is a guy from another, dimension. He's, he is something out of this world that only gets once. So like you said, good stuff on that. And of course, Judas effect, because Colt Cabana, he was going on the ropes, and pretty much like he was caught in the Judas effect. Do we like the move, the back fist? No, he doesn't deliver that legit. We want the code breaker back. But, that's Jericho. So, again, he gets in the microphone, and then he says same thing about just happened to Cabana. It's going to happen to that piece of shit. And we're not talking about, you know who you are. No, this is going to talk to Mike Tyson. And then Jericho challenged Mike Tyson to face him, and then he's going to shove Tyson's head up on his own ass. So Jericho says, we want Tyson right here and right now, and then he calls him out. He says that the baddest man on the planet. And you know who comes out? Freshly squeezed. Freshly squeezed comes out. Orange Cassidy, he comes out and he grabs Jericho's hands and puts them in his own pocket. And then Jake Hager goes after him. But then Orange Cassidy avoids them. And then he retreats to the crowd with the best friends as we head to a break. What do you think about this whole thing?
I mean, I don't know what the best friends got to get involved in this. They should be kind of involved with, the tag team champions coming up for Fyter Fest. Maybe this is going to be the in-between little mini feud. Maybe they're going to get involved with Tyson. Because you figure Tyson's entourage is probably not going to be there all the time. So they're like, let's put him with the best friends. Because the best friends are over. And they probably think, man, this Tyson angle, they saw the backlash of it on the internet. They're like, ooh, fans are kind of shitting on it. But if we put him with the best friends, nobody's going to shit on the best friends, right?
Exactly.
That's what they hope. Same. It's like, let's put Roman Reigns with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. No one's going to shit on them, right?
Everybody loves the Shield, right?
Yep. Nobody's going to shit on them, right? Yeah.
Nobody's.
So I don't know. That's just my theory. I don't know. Don't call me a hater. I bought the shirt, so don't call me a hater. But hey, I think that's what they're doing.
Oh yeah, pretty much. And it's interesting, to say the least. Like that match with Mike Tyson, I don't think is going to be as exciting as anybody could think it's going to be. But it is what it is. So Jean Paul, we go to a match with like Nyla Rose and Big Swole. And, this match, like you said, a little too long. Why there were Big Swole hit a lot of offense on Nyla, and that's not what we really want to see because Nyla is upset. She just lost her title, so she wants revenge. But in the end, Big Swole put a good fight, and she almost won.
Yeah, I mean, I would have, it's good to see Big Swole they're kind of pushing her. They're trying to get her in that women's division, probably having Britt Baker down. It's like, okay, next woman up. Like, who's going to step up? I think Big Swole is going to be that woman, but Nyla Rose, like you said, she just lost the title. They even mentioned that on commentary. They'll go, she's not a happy woman, just lost the title and this and that. You should have really booked her in a squash match. She really should have been, and not against Big Swole, just against an enhancement talent. Yes. Put someone else out there, boom, squash match. But, I mean, for what it was, if you take, that out of it, somebody's push, it was a good contested match.
It was because she got a cutter from Big Swole, but then she ends up blocking a second cutter, and then he gets rolled out for a near fall, and then Rose dodges, and then Dirty Dancing, and hits the Biz bomb for the win. That's what it was. Pretty interesting. Like you said, we'll see what's going on with like Big Swole, with Nyla Rose. Who's going to be the first one to go against Hikaru Shida? That's very interesting to see. But then we got an interview with Tony Giovanni. He's interviewing Big Swole. I don't understand why you have to interview the loser. I don't understand that. The loser's probably pissed. He doesn't want to talk. They don't want to talk. Yeah. He probably doesn't want to talk. Why is she being interviewed after the match? And then she said, it's good to be back. But then Britt Baker started ranting from a top. Her motorized thrown. Then Baker rams to the barricade. So Swole grabs a steel chair, and Baker retreats really hastily. She's really, really fast. And then Giovanni interviewed Darby Allin, who is injured. And then Tony asked, the Gothic kid from, South Park, if Cage hurt him because of the interviews with Taz, whether he was really rude. And Darby says life is a joke, but he'll get the last laugh. I don't know what's going on with Darby Allin. A little lost.
Yeah, I mean, we could see. That's what I mean. Like maybe that's how they get Moxley out of it. Because you got to remember the spot where he had Darby Allin on the ladder, threw him, this and that, and Taz, like you said, kind of poking fun at Darby Allin a couple weeks before Cage debuted. So maybe Darby Allin's going to cost Brian Cage the match against Jon Moxley. Maybe he's going to come out, screw him over. Especially if they make this match some kind of gimmick, like no DQ or, something like that, where Darby Allin could just show up, or even he could just show up, sneak behind the ref, whatever. Refs are pretty dumb. They don't see stuff. So, we could get something like that, and then that would set up a feud maybe with him, Darby Allin, and Brian Cage. But I don't know what the point with that would be because, You would think that Brian Cage should destroy Darby Allin, and what are you going to have him lose against Moxley and then lose against Darby Allin? Then the guy's buried almost.
Oh yeah,
So
no.
I mean, I don't know. Like, we'll see.
No.
We'll see. It's definitely interesting, and I'm glad that they're still touching on the story aspect with Taz, and they didn't just forget about it because they did it 2 weeks in a row. So
yes,
it's like,
yeah. So like they kind of like they don't leave those logic gaps right there. So that's pretty interesting to see that the AEW does care about the whole continuation of the storyline. So now this takes us to Tony Giovanni interviewing FDR or the Revival, however you want to call him, and ask them what their names means. So they say FTR can be anything, is a lifestyle for them. So Dax says that he's in AEW for Revolution and the company now. He has the best tag team in the world. So they rhyme of AEW's teams they like to face, and they say that they want to like teach the Lucha Bros how to wrestle. There you go. Jean Paul kind of like took that. Woo. And then Tony asks about like the Young Bucks, and they laugh. And then Dax says that like they had to sit back while the Bucks get all the accolades and pisses them off. So Cash says that he doesn't want to have a great tag team match with them. He wants to punch them. So Tony asks why they didn't punch them last week. And Cash said they want to be that. There's no doubt when they beat the Bucks. So they want Mag and Nick to be as healthy as possible so they can be no excuses. And when they do that, they want Tony, JR, and everybody else to admit that they're the best. And Jean Paul, you know, like they need a first feud before they get the Bucks. So we get to see guys that, like you said, they debuted good. They seem to be legit, but like now they're just like losers, and that's the Butcher and the Blade. They show up as the interview finishes, but with a bunch of people come between them. So Cash says that like what they did to them last week wasn't personal. If they want to settle this, they can do it in the ring like professionals. So next week, you know, we're going to see Colt Cabana. He is going to be Sammy Guevara. Mark Quinn will face Cody for the TNT Championship. And the Inner Circle faces the Best Friends. And FTR faces the Butcher and the Blade. Your thoughts on this segment with the Revival?
It was good. I do like how at one point when he was they were naming off all the things that FTR could stand for. They never say, fuck the Revival. And then Tony actually asked that. He's like, what about... And he's like, bleep the bleep. They actually bleeped Revival. Like, they didn't even want to give WWE the plug of the Revival. And it's like, I don't even think they're making any money off the name Revival anymore.
Probably.
But it was just funny that they bleeped both. But, and the Butcher and the Blade, like you said, they were legit. They come out, like, look at these guys. They look like, serial killer bikers or something. They're crazy. And it's going to be Shatter Machine and done.
Yeah. Yeah, because they need, they need to put the FTR over.
Thanks for coming. Like,
thanks. And, Ali's not there anymore. You can clearly say that she's moved on from them.
Yep.
So like AEW,
and she's a good wrestler. I don't know why she's not in.
They don't work.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe it's something on her end, but she's a good wrestler. I don't know why she's not in the ring.
I know.
Unless she's training to get back in the ring.
Probably.
Maybe that's what's going on now, but it's like she was a good wrestler when they first started. She kind of had a feud with Brandy, and then they maybe realized that Brandy couldn't wrestle, so they ended that feud.
No, and Ali used to like be in the main event or the title women's match on Impact.
Yeah,
with Chelsea Green. So that used to be a feud. So clearly she has potential. She has enough ability.
Maybe she's leaving, going to NXT.
I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know what to say because I really like her. I really hope that like wherever she goes, we can see her on TV. That should be my petition. Colt Cabana, Jean Paul, his interview backstage, and he said he fell short. So he's shown that like he can hang with the big guys, and then he can be great, but the wins are eluding them. He's not able to pull that big win. So Brody Lee approaches Colt, and he tells them like his loss is a natural part of life. It's about how you can respond to a loss, and he can help him with that. So we kind of see a tease of Colt Cabana joining the Dark Order. So that will be cool.
Yeah, I mean, will he join? Hopefully he joins because it would be interesting. But I feel like this is just going to lead to, him versus Brody Lee, a match. Brody Lee's going to get a win. Oh, okay, Brody Lee beat Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana is a pretty big name. So then Brody Lee will be down in the bullshit tier, and then he'll move his way up because they they jobbed him out, made him look like a loser.
At the expense of like Colt Cabana. Ooh,
but with everything going on with Moxley, it was like he debuted, that fell flat. He had the match, he stole the title. He couldn't back it up. He lost, had to give it right back. So
Exactly.
I don't know if this will save him, but again, it's just, I'm going to say the same thing with Lance Archer. At least he's on TV. It's not like they forgot about him and like, oh, okay, you lost. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah, you're keeping all the guys, so that's cool. TNT Championship match, John Paul. Cody defending the title, his first title defense against Jungle Boy. A pretty extremely, absolutely great match. And they did what we said they were going to do. They were going to give good exposure to Jungle Boy. They're not going to bury the guy. They're going to give him chances. They're going to make him look good. But in the end, Cody will retain. And like you said, you told me about it, like they was even color during the match. Jimmy Corderas hated the spot. He said it was unnecessary. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like, if this was MJF, if this was Wardlow, Lance Archer rematch, 100%, yeah, go ahead, do it. And, if you get thrown to the outside and it's an obvious spot where, oh, okay, you could have got broken open. Don't do it on like, oh, I'm pulling your leg and you get bled open. Like that won't make any sense. But not two baby faces. Like there shouldn't be color in this match because at the end, like I said, Cody retains. But they kind of showed the sign of respect. Like, oh, okay, you're legit. We're both baby faces. We have respect for each other when this is over. There was no hatred. There was nothing like that. There was no reason for him to get busted open.
Nope.
I think it's just because Cody likes the dramatic and because Dusty, before the match would start, Dusty would be bleeding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like he's just trying to do that the old school. And it's like, hey, Cody, like, stop being a mark. Calm down. Just like wrestle a legit match. You don't need color. It's not a pay-per-view. It's not a big money match. People are going to forget that this even happened in 3 weeks from now, so there's no reason.
Exactly. So, I mean, it was good.
But other than that complaint that I rambled on for 3 minutes now, it was a legit match. It was really good. And like you said, the main thing was Jungle Boy looked really good.
Yep, and, he was like swinging for some clothesline, but then he gets caught into the crossroads, rolls him up, and then, boom. 1, 2, 3, get the win. After the match, Marco Stunt, Luchasaurus, Brandy, and Dustin come out to the help of both of them. And then, everybody was like kind of faces. Babyface reaction. That's the end of Dynamite. I will say a good show. Like you mentioned, I don't know why Cody will bleed for this reason. I don't know why it was necessary. But, I mean, they did it. Is there something that we can say about it? Yeah, well, I wasn't really happy with it. I mean, I didn't care much for it either.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, it was, and it didn't. Rivalry. Yeah, and it was one of those things where it wasn't like, oh, as soon as he did it, like, oh, now this match is awful. It didn't ruin the match, but it was just one of those things that when you saw it, it was like, oh, okay, I don't really understand it. And they also, like, when they went through the announce table, or not the announce table, they went through a table that was set up. It was like, okay, like, I don't know why the thing got, like, so extreme. You know what I mean? It was like, I mean, and I love ECW, but like this match didn't need it, and it didn't.
But it's two faces. That's pretty much.
And it didn't add anything to it. It didn't make me like, oh my god. It was like because they don't really sell anything. They go through a table, and then 30 seconds later, they're standing up, throwing each other in the ring, doing Hurricane Ranas, and it's like, didn't you just go through a table? So when you don't sell anything, it's not really that special. So it's like
it's true. So like that's how you always need to think when you do certain kind of moves like that. But they didn't in this time. In the end, decent match. We both knew we were gonna be the winner. Jungle Boy still looks good. He's still one of the prominent guys on AEW. So this wraps it up for this review. Thank you so very much, family. Again, sorry for the interruptions that we had. We had things that like we needed to get the power back, but see, we're right here. NXT review is going to be up in like a few seconds also. And you and me, Jean-Paul, will be back for SmackDown because we're getting ready for some bullshit. We're getting ready for some bullshit. And, we will also be there with previews and predictions of TakeOver. And also we'll be analyzing TakeOver in your house. So good stuff on that, right, Jean-Paul?
Exactly.
So, where they can find us in the social media world.
You can find us on Facebook and Instagram on The Original Rope Break, Twitter at The OG Rope Break, and of course, right here on YouTube, The Original Rope Break.
For the meat and greet, for the meat and potatoes, so John Paul, you and me have one more thing that is left to say. And what is that?